All right, so I'm sitting down here with Adam Smith, who's currently a candidate on the May 3rd ballot running for the Seneca County Commissioner's Office seat against Bill Franker. Adam, did you think you were ever going to run for political office?
That's a great question, Zach. First of all, thank you for having me on here. It's a great question. I was actually pretty humbled. I got offered and actually asked back in November, and the question was in a text message, and it said, have you ever been asked to run in a political party? And my response was, it's the weirdest question I've ever been asked in my 25 years in business. So no, never did I think about it, but I took the question serious. I took it back to my wife, took it back to my business partners, and my family, and they were wanting to know what seat that they were looking at, and didn't hear for about a month, and then finally a few people asked me about the commissioner position because I heard Kirshner was retiring, and I was actually very humbled, very honored. I feel that experience isn't everything, especially from an experience standpoint. When you want to be part of a team, that's a good thing. So I think from an experience standpoint, I would bring that to the county commissioners and be part of the team.
Awesome. And you're a business owner here in Tiffin, Seneca County, for those who may not have known. Your experience as a business person and a businessman will also help you as a commissioner in Seneca County.
Absolutely, yes. I've been present owner for Carmrees and Camden Falls since 1998. Feels like just a year ago. I love what I do. My passion is wedding receptions, special events. We host a lot of our own in-house events, which is really cool. And then we've converted this restaurant over, which a lot of people may not know as well, 3 different times. Started out fine Italian dining, and about 9 years into it, we converted over to more of a sports bar theme. And then finally, we're resting on more of a smokehouse theme. So, you know, we feel the success of the restaurant. Unfortunately, COVID kind of struck a lot of the restaurants in the area, but we're still here. We're still staying strong. We are family owned, so my number one thing is support and be supported. And I feel that, the business sector, to your original question, will give me a very good advantage of being able to help the commissioners. From a budgetary standpoint, by law, you have to have a balanced budget. So I'm not worried about the balanced budget. I feel that those things will fall into place. Stacy Wilson does an amazing job.
Yes, she does.
Up the county commissioner as the administrator up there. So, I'm sure if year one, I'd probably lean on her a lot. But I think, that they have a lot of momentum going on there, and I'm excited to be part of the team up there.
Awesome. And we're going to dive into some issues here.
Sure.
First issue on the ballot is obviously this broadband survey. We all know the internet here in Tiffin is pretty good, but we start getting out in the rural counties, the villages, and the townships, and we're getting on the east side of the Seneca County, even in Jackson Township on the west side, it's really bad. So the commissioners are working on this big project to make internet better, and all the partners involved in this. What is your take on making the internet better here in Seneca County?
Well, I think that's in anybody's, it's not a Democrat, it's not a Republican issue. I think that's an all issue. And I think it was very pronounced when schools actually had to take their kids home and they had to homeschool them, and they found out quickly that it wasn't working. So I think the companies that are doing a great job at this, I want to read them off so I don't make the mistake on that.
You're good.
But it's Ice Miller, Whiteboard, DLZ, and NCOESC out there is kind of helping navigate through this. I think they do a great job on finding and identifying, what needs to happen. Out of all the townships that I've been in, I think Jackson, I feel, and I've heard and I've seen firsthand, is probably the worst area in Seneca County. So
is
think
the New Riegel area.
New Riegel area, is it?
It's crazy. I live in the state of Australia. You live near Tiffin, and you do a lot of work in Tiffin. The internet's great, but once we start getting out into the area and the farm communities here in Seneca County, internet gets a little rough. And it's just like your cell phone reception. We get over there in Bloomville, Attica area, sometimes my Verizon phone doesn't work. And it's pretty crazy. We're in 2022.
That should be part of it. And make no mistake about it, I understand the rural community, and I feel your needs, and I'm here for you. Being part of, Eden Township my whole life, I grew up on a family farmhouse in Upper Sandusky of 200 acres. And, I understand what goes on out in the rural area, and the needs that are needed to be able to farm, to be able to to be able to raise livestock. So it's important, I'm here to be another advocate of that and be a supporter of you.
All right. Since you're in the Eden Township east side of Seneca County, the other issue has been very talked about over the past several years is energy. When we talk about energy companies coming to Seneca County, we talk about windmills, we talk about solar farms. What is your take on those types of issues that you may face as a commissioner?
Well, I tell you, me personally, when they first started coming here, I had wind farms out here at Camden Falls that spent a lot of money to showcase what they had to offer. And from a business standpoint, I'm not going to not accept their monies for that. Now, I will say I was never in support of windmills. I didn't think it made sense here in Seneca County. The great thing that Bill Reineke had done, he did the SB 52, which was Senate Bill 52, and take it to the people. Means let the voters vote. And I think that really helps from a neighborhood standpoint, from a business sector standpoint, and it helps your property. And I think it's a good thing. Well, not only a good thing, I think it was a great thing that Reineke did that, and that's where I stand on it. I feel as a commissioner, Republic just came back and tried to reapply,
Correct.
and then that got shut down about a month ago, I believe it was. So pretty confident that at least in this area, unless it's taken to the Supreme Court, I think that area is pretty much squashed, but that would be my stance on it.
And we're talking about the rural sectors of Seneca County. EMS has been very talked about for the past, I think, about 18 months now. We're going to a countywide EMS. Currently, we have volunteer EMS around the county. When we get on the east side of Seneca County, EMS is very busy, and it's very volunteer. Moving forward with the full-time EMS, what is your stance for full-time EMS here in Seneca County?
I think countywide EMS services make sense. They're looking to make 4 different areas for that, which I think, and obviously the areas, not knowing where those areas are at, I think those areas still need to be discussed. But I think overall, I'm pretty excited to continue to be involved with that. I don't have a voice until January 1st, but if elected, I'll make sure I make the best decision for the taxpayers. I don't take adding millage to your property very lightly. I think that's a very serious thing. So to answer your question, I think it's a great thing. Everyone knows volunteerism is diminishing, unfortunately. I think the volunteers out there right now do an amazing job, but it is less and less, and the older volunteers are, not able to, follow through with a lot of things they used to back in the day.
And one of the other things if they were to move full-time EMS, move going forward that plan, the level of care to the citizens would be better because you may have advanced or paramedics on that squad. So the level of care, when you call 911, the level of care that may be responding to your residents would be higher. So that's one of the avenues is really good moving forward with EMS here.
Yeah, the ALS is going to be part of the EMS services, and that is advanced life support. For those of you who may not know that, but they're going to be required to have that certificate and license, and yeah, it's going to shrink the run times down, which will obviously save lives. You're going to get better care once you get to there instead of just getting picked up in a cab and driven to the local hospital. So I think it's a great thing.
If elected as a commissioner here in Seneca County, what would you bring for the residents that live in Seneca County's portion of Astoria?
Gotcha. Well, Fostoria is a really unique city. It has 3 different townships, which makes it challenging in itself. But I think the collaboration that the present commissioners have given to Mayor Keckler, Jackson, Hopewell, some of those other rural areas, I think will be able to help that cause. I feel that my portion of that I can aid and assist is, bring back, I talked to Mayor Keckler a month or so ago, and he was talking about coffee with the commissioners at the Learning Center. And I don't drink coffee, but I'd love to be able to, if elected, be part of that, just to get to know the citizens and get to know the needs, because a lot of what the commissioners are doing is more of a reactive position, because they can't really forecast. They don't have a crystal ball on what's going on, but it's being proactive about the reactive state that they're in. So I feel confident that I can be proactive about those concerns and issues, pertaining to Fostoria. And I do want to congratulate Mayor Keckler and the organization on the DORA. That did pass, and I wish downtown Fostoria all the success that Tiffin has had with DORA as well.
Awesome. DORA is a very, very good thing moving forward for the city of Fostoria as well. It'll bring people into downtown. It'll bring people to the city of Fostoria that may want to check out downtown or check out DORA and all the events that take place in the downtown area. If elected, what would you bring to the villages here in Seneca County?
So we have 6 villages. We have Nourigo, Bethville, Green Springs. We have Bloomville, Attica, and Republic. And those 6 villages, I think, strive very well, but they still need the collaboration of the county commissioners to be able to allow growth. As I talked earlier in my talk, economic development. Republic, for example, they have 2 restaurants that do an amazing job. And I feel that, those type of villages, that's heart of Ohio right there. And I'm really humbled not only to be asked to run for county commissioner and be a voice for the people, but that's my intention, is to get to know more people in those villages, collaborate a little bit better with, their needs and their interests.
Awesome. You're very well known here in the city of Tiffin. What would you bring to the voters here in the city of Tiffin?
So very similar to, I talked about Mayor Keckler, Mayor Motz, him and I are good friends. We have a working relationship, which I think is very important. A lot of things going on in Tiffin that the commissioners are responsible for are these buildings. So there's a lot of buildings that are happening in and around Tiffin, and I think it's important for the commissioners to upkeep those, look at regional planning to see what we can do. The Ag Credit Building, perfect example. I think that's the #1 thing on the commissioner's docket, to be able to take down and rebuild and restructure, and I think that's a great idea, because the building is dilapidated and it needs to be new. That's just on the outskirts of Tiffin, but it's all part of the community.
Awesome. And then if you just want to do your ending part,
Okay.
then we'll be good.
Sounds good. So vote Adam F. Smith, the primary choice for Seneca County Commissioner, on May 3rd. Thank you very much.